toss, so Allen Rossum, who was with the Green Bay Packers the last seasons, will be the deep man to receive the kick from Ryan Longwell. Football 2002 is here. Rossum from the goal line. Changing directions. Rossum bouncing it outside. Nice return all the way out to the 44-yard line. 44 on the return, so excellent starting position for Michael Vick, who, as we said, calls this his first start in the National Football League, even though technically it is his third. Vick, of course, the #1 overall pick in last year's draft. On first down, it's just a handoff to Warwick Dunn, and Dunn going to be stopped for a pickup of 1 yard. Warwick Dunn, part of this new look Atlanta Falcons offense. A lot of changes, especially on the offensive line, which we will talk about, but Bob Whitfield begins his 10th season at left tackle. Meanwhile, the backs and the receivers, you saw Warwick Dunn, the free agent pickup from Tampa Bay. Willie Jackson gets a start at wide receiver. He came over from New Orleans in the offseason. 2nd and 9. Play action. Vick's first pass attempt. Hands it off to Warwick Dunn, and Dunn going to be stopped once again. Tyrone Williams, part of that Packer defense, holding him to just 3 yards on the reception. Packers with a very versatile group up front. One of their big offseason acquisitions also is the defensive end Joe Johnson, who spent his entire career with the New Orleans Saints before coming to Green Bay this year. At linebacker is Nate Wayne, Hardy Nickerson, the free agent from Jacksonville, and Niall Diggs. Williams and McKenzie, the corners, Edwards and Sharper, the 2 safeties. On third down, Atlanta needs the Packer 46 for the first. Vick. This is where he's dangerous, but the Packers won't let him get out.
Good push up the middle by both guys, Cledius Hunt and Joe Johnson. They'll move Joe Johnson down on the inside to rush in nickel situations. Here's Joe right here. You watch Vonnie Holliday. He'll get some nice push. Mike Vick, good coverage downfield. Just doesn't have anywhere to go. Watch that football. Come in good pursuit. That's something that Mike Vick needs to work on. They talked about it in the offseason. When he starts scrambling, he holds that football out and he'll get it knocked loose.
Darian Gordon makes the fair catch for Green Bay. 36 yards on the punt, nothing on the return. And so we'll get to see Brett Favre for the first time. 12-year veteran, looking to get the NFL's best record, breaking Terry Bradshaw's mark, which was set back in 1967 of 67-12 at home.
Is there a more humble guy to talk to than Brett Favre?
Is there a guy who loves football
I don't think,
more than Brett Favre?
Well, maybe Hardy Nickerson on the other side of the ball for Green Bay, but 12 years in the league for Brett Favre, and Father Time has been good to him.
Favre, as a starter, is 8-1 on opening day. Packers begin at their own 13. Amon Green. Green with a short 3-yard pickup. Up front for the Green Bay Packers, a familiar face back at center. Frankie Bag of Donuts Winters had lost the starting job last year, but because of an injury to Mike Flanagan, he's back as Brett Favre's center. Amon Green and William Henderson in the backfield. Donald Driver is the wide receiver, along with the big offseason acquisition of Terry Glenn, the wideout, who was picked up in that trade from the New England Patriots.
Terry Glenn hasn't played a lot of football. He hurt his knee at the start of training camp and played a little bit last week in the last preseason game.
Favre from the shotgun completes the pass. That's out to the tight end. David Martin with the short reception, and the Falcons defensive front. They switched to a 3-4 defense this season, so Smith, Jasper, and Kearney are the guys up front. 4 linebackers, Theory, the former Packer, along with Brooken, Holisek, and Matt Stewart. And the corners, 2 of the best in the league, in Ambrose and Buchanan, along with McBurrows and Carpenter at safety. 3rd and short. Packers need the 23. Amon Green gets there. First down, Green Bay.
That's where they wanted to improve. They wanted to improve on the 3rd and 2 to 6. pick up the first down. They can be somewhere up near 40% on third down percentage. They're happy. Little jab step. Ahman Green just sees the hole outside. Let's see if Brett Favre goes after Jerron Bolden here. He's definitely the weak link of that secondary for Atlanta.
They hand it off to Ahman Green. Green plows his way out to the 30-yard line. And you see Buchanan already back in the game. Packers bring in the rookie Javon Walker as their third receiver. Throw it short. Terry Glenn makes his first catch as a Packer. And he's brought down by Gerald McBurrows. The football came out. Let's see what they rule. And they are saying he was down.
Well, he got a mismatch right there, and that's what Brett Favre's looking at. When you get Terry Glenn in the slot, he will get a mismatch with the linebacker. Right here is Terry Glenn. You got Matt Stewart covering him. There's no way that Matt Stewart's going to hang with him. Terry Glenn's just got too much speed. Good throw by Brett Favre.
Well, and Glenn is being helped off the field. He tweaked his knee and missed most of the preseason. Didn't play, in fact, until the final preseason game against Tennessee. And right now, he seemed to be limping as he went off.
What we talk about in the open, too. Terry Glenn staying healthy will be absolutely pivotal to what happens with Green Bay this year.
Green goes in motion on second down. Favre. Out of the backfield, William Henderson, and makes a move down near that first down marker before Brady Smith stopped it. 3 wide receivers in on third and short. They need the 42. Under pressure, Favre gets rid of it to Green, gets another Green Bay first down. Keith Brooking with the tackle, but only after pickup of 4 yards. Favre's hit 4 different receivers already on this opening drive. Play action, the end around. Javon Walker slips the tackle. Close to another Green Bay first down. Oh, the first-round draft pick out of Florida State touches the ball for the first time in the NFL. Not on a pass, but on a run. First down at the 30. Terry Glenn goes in motion. Rondell Mealy. Mealy going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage if he got back there. Patrick Kearney on the tackle for Atlanta. Packers with 3 receivers. Terry Glenn down in the slot. Handoff taken by Mealy. Big hole. Down to the Atlanta 17-yard line. Give him 14 on the carry.
Terrific block by the right side of the offensive line for Green Bay. Right there. You're going to see Tosh. You'll see Kearney get upfield. Open the hole wide open. Rivera just hangs on to his guy, and Rondell Mealy out of LSU finds the seam. And if he finds it, believe me, north and south, number 32 can go.
Well, this is an impressive opening drive by the Packers. This is the 12th play of the drive, and we've seen them shuttle in players in and out to try and keep them fresh on a hot day here in Green Bay. As Ahman Green comes back in, but gets nowhere. Wrapped up by Patrick Kearney for a 1-yard loss. Favre. That one broken up, intended for Donald Driver, incomplete.
Bolden was all over him. Good play by Jerron Bolden.
First incompletion for the Packers all day. Favre, 4 of his first 5.
Driver is just going to take a slant, little jab step, try to slant inside. Brett throws a good ball, but Bolden was all over him the whole way. Well played. Wait, he needs some confidence too, Jerron Bolden. If there was anybody in that second that was toasted for Atlanta during the preseason, that's him right there, number 21.
And you think teams don't know that even though this is week 1? First, third, and long situation for Green Bay. They've got to get it to the 8-yard line to keep the drive going. Favre to Driver. Wrapped up and brought down. Nice open field tackle by Keon Carpenter. Going to prevent the Green Bay first.
What you want is a defense with Atlanta. They'll build that imaginary wall, let him catch it in front of the sticks, come up and make the tackle. Good short tackle by Keon Carpenter. One of those Buffalo guys that Wade Phillips brought down with him. One of 3, right?
Wade Phillips, the new defensive coordinator for Atlanta, brought over a number of players who played with him in Buffalo to try and teach this 3-4 defense. 28-yard field goal attempt by Longwell. It goes through, and so the Packers get on the scoreboard first. They lead it 3-0 in front of the home folks at Lambeau Field. All from Green Bay, which of course sits on the Green Bay and the Fox River. We bring you NFL coverage here on Fox. That's exactly. Just for us. It's a good thing another network wasn't doing the game this week.
They only went over it about 4 times too many, getting lost.
It's not an easy city to get around. Ryan Longwell with the kickoff. Rossum from his end zone brings it out. Tripped up right at the 20-yard line. Torrance Marshall on the stop. So Atlanta starts off trailing 3-0. Warrick Dunn dancing back to the line of scrimmage. Finally stopped by Joe Johnson. Penalty marker, our first of the game, stops the play. Our referee today, Ron Winter.
Prior to the snap, false start, 74 offense, 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
Vick, with time, can't find a receiver, and this is where he's dangerous. Pulls it down and runs it. Makes a move, stays on his feet out to the 34-yard line. A first down for the Falcons on the 14-yard run. Warrick Dunn.
I thought it was interesting talking to Dan Reeves yesterday. Is he basically labeled Mike Vick as a pocket passer, didn't he?
That's how Vick wants to be labeled. Second down at the 39. Play action. Vick rolling to his left. Completes it to Willie Jackson Jr. And Jackson gets out to the 48-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 9. That's the fullback, Bob Christian, going back to the backfield. Vick to the air again. All kinds of time, but runs out. Brought down for the sack by Vonnie Holliday.
That's around Todd Weiner. Excellent coverage downfield, and you're going to see that from Green Bay. They are going to bump and run and stick with these guys and make Mike Vick beat him. McFinneran has no chance over here against Mike McKenzie. Vick's already sacked at that point. Look at the effort by Vonnie Holliday. Down on the ground. Todd Weiner tries to get him off of his feet, and then Vonnie Holliday jumps up and does one of those Supermans and lays out and pulls Mike Vick down.
First sack of the day by either team, and sacks, something Atlanta had a problem with last year.
64 sacks, Kurt, they gave up last year, the second most in the National Football League.
This one dropped him back for a 3.5-yard loss. That's the Warrick Dunn. Dunn picks up those 3.5 yards plus another 9. A 12-yard run by Dunn after the catch. We are through quarter number 1 of the 2002 season. The Packers get a 28-yard field goal for our only score so far. It's 3-0 here at Lambeau. $65,000 fans in the stand here at Green Bay, and a couple more on the field, as this is the warmest opening day of the Green Bay Packers.
Is this September 8th or July 8th?
It feels like it here in Green Bay.
Goodness.
Atlanta in Packer territory for the first time today. Vick. Little dump. Warrick Dunn. Picks up 3 yards on the play. 3 wide receivers in for Atlanta. Play action. Vick on the run. That's a designed running play. He picks up another first down at the 22-yard line. First down for Atlanta. Handoff to Warrick Dunn. Scoots his way down inside the 20. They'll mark it at the 17.
Boy, he's shifty, Warrick Dunn.
So's this guy.
The design run for Mike Vick. He'll just fake a little handoff here. Warrick Dunn, and then just follow him up in the hole. Look. Uses that vision, makes cuts, and look at him glide. Clocked at a 4.240 at Virginia Tech.
Well, he was the big acquisition as the first-round pick last year. Their first-rounder this year, T.J. Duckett, now in the game for the first time, as the Falcons have their 10th play of this drive. Duckett, his first carry. Look at him rumble down to the 4-yard line. First and goal for the Falcons inside the 5. Duck it again. Down to the 2 on 2nd and goal. Vick with blockers in front of him. Towards the corner of the end zone. No signal yet. Touchdown, Atlanta Falcons. Two-yard touchdown run by Michael Vick.
Well, he talked about having some design runs, and this is it. He just takes off and turns and runs, and you're going to see him dive for the pylon, and that is a new rule this year, the pylon rule. Of course, last year in Detroit, when Lamont Evans went down on the pylon, they called him out of bounds. The pylon used to be out of bounds. New change with the officials this year. It's gone. That ball touches the pylon. It's 6 points.
Was this a touchdown?
Well, here it is by Michael Vick, and I say no. I say they got away with one here. You see it gets touched right there by Antoine Edwards on the thigh pad. Right there. And then you'll see his knee go down at the 2-yard line. Actually, that ball should be, the knee is down right there.
Oh, but the officials called it a touchdown, and so the Falcons to lead at 7-3. The kickoff taken deep in the end zone by Javon Walker. I'm sure the Packers think they may have gotten to Vick before he got into the end zone, but they got the extra point off, so he can't be replayed.
Too late now.
34 yards rushing and 26 passing for Michael Vick. Probably out of whack for what the Falcons want, but that was the Packers' concern coming in.
Sharper said he was worried much more about Mike Vick's legs than he was about it.
Green Bay starts at the 20-yard line this second drive. Favre completes it out to Green, who dropped it. Favre hands it off to Green. Amon Green spins out to the 27-yard line. Ball came out again. And Atlanta saying they recovered. The officials agree.
Atlanta football.
Deion Carpenter, who made a big touchdown-saving tackle on the opening drive, comes through with the fumble recovery on drive number 2.
Brett just turns and hands off the little lead draw. You got the lead back leading up inside. Just takes a shot on it right there from a shoulder pad. Except that hit him. Deion Carpenter hit him and recovered it, it looks like. Right there. Knocked it loose and came up with the football. Outstanding play from Deion Carpenter.
And so Atlanta takes over at the 28-yard line, leading it 7-3.
You see the red flag down.
There's a challenge coming out.
Carpenter hits him there.
That ball is out.
That ball is out, definitely.
And the Packers, I do believe, will lose this challenge. Keep in mind that it has to be indisputable evidence to overturn the call, which was that it was a fumble. So they have to see something that proves to them that it's not a fumble.
The ball carrier lost possession of the ball before either knee touched the ground. Therefore, the ruling on the field is correct. It was a fumble. First down for Atlanta. Green Bay is charged with a timeout.
And the correct call, I do believe, stands.
Yep.
Packers will be charged with their first timeout.
Ron Winter got that one right.
Warwick Dunn alone in the backfield. Veteran goes in motion. Vick. Bramley. Throws it towards the end zone. Broken up nicely by Tyrone Williams. Pass intended for Willie Jackson. But Williams got a hand in there, and we get a penalty marker thrown late here. Back by the Atlanta offensive line, which it looks like it may be holding.
That's usually what it is right there. And Joe Johnson came on an inside
holding.
rush.
Offense. Number 71.
Travis
10-yard
Claridge.
penalty. Repeat first down.
Backs him up to the 38. Vick.
Gone.
Dunn out of the backfield. Can't get out. Will actually lose 2 yards on the play. 10-yard penalty, 2-yard loss. Suddenly it's 2nd and 12. 3 wide receivers in for Atlanta.
Gone.
That's caught by Willie Jackson down to the 11-yard line. A pickup of 29 yards on a first down for Atlanta.
What an absolute strike. Take a look at Willie Jackson. Just run a skinny post right in the zone in between Hardy Nickerson and Darren Sharper. That's how you play zone offense football right there. And what a strike from Mike Vick. He's got arm strength, doesn't he, Kurt?
See, he's got maybe as strong an arm as anyone in the league. Brett Favre, he's got. You talk to a lot of players around the league, and they say everybody talks about his leg, but that arm is as dangerous as anyone's. First down. Inside to Brian Finneran. Finneran going to be wrapped up by Tyrone Williams right about the 3-yard line as he kept fighting. From the 4, Warwick Dunn dancing, fighting his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta Falcons. The turnover turns into more Falcons, and they extend the lead to 10 pending the extra point.
Warwick Dunn's a lot stronger of a runner than he looks. He's 185 pounds, but key is the double team on the right side of the offensive line. Todd Weiner just pushing Joe Johnson out of there, and then Warwick Dunn running tough. He'll run tough in between the tackles now. He's just not an edge runner.
So Jay Feely on for the extra point. And he gets it through. This is exactly how the Falcons envisioned it going this year. Michael Vick scores on the first possession. This time it's free agent pickup Warwick Dunn getting this job done. And so Warwick Dunn gets his first touchdown as an Atlanta Falcons, puts Atlanta on top 14-3 here in Green Bay midway through the second quarter. Kurt Menefee along with Tim Ryan from Lambeau Field as the Packers took that 3-0 lead, sent in all Atlanta, both offensively and defensively. This kick by Feely into the end zone. It's going to be down there by Najee Davenport. Warwick Dunn's touchdown giving the Falcons a 14-3 lead. Green Bay takes over at the 20-yard line. Their third possession of the ball game. 2 tight ends in for the Packers. Play action. Favre under pressure, escapes it and throws deep downfield. Donald Driver, the intended receiver, and all kinds of pushing and shoving there. Gerald McBurrow is going to be flagged for the penalty.
Pass interference, number 22. Defense. First down.
Talk about how close this game is. It's that close to being a sack. Instead, it's the big 52-yard penalty.
And here's the pass interference. And McBurrows has got to turn around and look. I mean, that's his cue. As soon as he sees Donald Driver with his eyes looking up at the football, that is McBurrows' cue to turn and look. He didn't do that. Pass interference. Easy call.
Pick up 52 yards all the way out to the 28. William Henderson can't grab that one. Second and 10. Green picks up 3 yards on the play. Big third down for Green Bay. They have to get the 18. They get there. Driver down to the 11-yard line.
Another big third down pickup for Donald Driver.
Oh, that's what he made a name for himself out of doing last year.
He's playing out of the slot right there. He's just going to go find the soft spot in the zone. He gets let go there and just settles right there. Good throw, Brett Favre. You got to like this kid, Donald Driver. Had an opportunity to go to Indianapolis, make a bunch more money, and stayed here for a $500,000 tender offer.
Said he wanted to be somewhere where he had a chance to win. First down from the 11. Green out of the backfield. Keith Brooking stops him. Just under 7 minutes to go here in the first half.
Brett's starting to get in rhythm versus his 3-4 defense, I think.
Mon Green with room. Tripped up, lost the football again.
That's another fumble. That's his second one of the day. Let's see what the officials mark it as here.
And the Packers recovered. But this is 2 fumbles by Green in the last 2 possessions.
And you remember why Mike Holmgren got rid of him in Seattle was his inability to hold on to the football and just selling out, trying to get to that goal line. Looks like the ground caused the fumble on that one. Mon Green, and like all the good backs do, look at that body lean. Always leaning forward.
Yeah, that did squirt out after it hit the ground, so no fumble for Green. On third down, they can get the first at the 1-yard line. On the bootleg, Favre into the end zone, touchdown, Packers. David Martin.
Uh-oh.
The Lambeau leap a little bit short.
Yeah, a little slip on the Lambeau leap. But Brett Favre set that up beautifully, looking everybody off. Looked like he was going to come underneath and he knew number 87, David Martin, would be dragging across the middle part of the end zone and just zipped in a beautiful pass. David Martin, second-year pro out of Tennessee. They got high hopes for this kid.
Well, he was a wide receiver in college. They switched him to tight end last season as a 6th-round draft pick and expect bigger things for him this year now that he's more comfortable at the position.
They're just loaded with tight ends here in Green Bay. Of course, Bubba Franks was a #1 out of Miami, made the Pro Bowl last year. Then you've got Tyrone Davis, who's been here a long, long time, picking up big first downs and big yardage from the tight end position. And now David Martin, just add him to the puzzle, and you've got another good receiver.
Bubba Franks a little slow to get up, but he seems to be okay. Take another look at the touchdown.
David Martin, he'll come from the backside tight end. Absolutely no jam whatsoever. The linebackers are trying to run with him, and Favre. Does he love this game, Kurt? Look at him. 12 years in the league, 3 MVPs, and he's having as much fun as anybody.
Oh, his first touchdown pass of the new season. So why not be happy?
Did you see how McBurrows came up, thought Brett was going underneath, and
it wasn't a good series for Gerald McBurrows.
Not at all. Of course, the big pass interference gave him, what, 52 yards? That was huge. That was the key play on that drive. And as I said, I think Brett's starting to figure out this 3-4 defense of Wade Phillips a little bit.
Ryan Longwell on for the extra point.
So what?
And so the Packers come right back downfield after Atlanta scores, helped in part by 52-yard pass interference penalty. It's now 14-10.
Here's the touchdown from David Martin here. You'll see him here on the backside at tight end right there, and he's not even going to get jammed. He'll come off, drag the back of the end zone. Bubba Franks is here. Pump fakes to Bubba Franks. McBurrows comes up, finds Martin dragging across the end zone.
That caps off an 80-yard touchdown drive for the Packers. As Allen Rossum is back to take the kick, which is short. Kozlowski got it and pitched it to Rossum. And he's hit hard by Torrance Marshall. Well, David Martin got the Packers 7 points with the touchdown, but I tell you, Tim, he gets 0 on the style points afterwards.
Yeah, I'll give him a 9.5 on the touchdown, but I'm going to have to give him about a 1.5 on the Lambeau leap, that's for sure. This guy's 258 pounds, put on about 10 pounds in the offseason. Tried to bulk up, obviously get moved from wide receiver at Tennessee down into tight end, and they feel he can be very, very productive throughout his career here.
Falcons take over at the 33-yard line. A new right tackle in the game, Michael Thompson, now in with Todd Weiner stepping out. Vick. Bullet right to Willie Jackson. Ball popped out. And the Packers recover. Mike McKenzie falls on it.
Antoine Edwards, it looks like.
Edwards just reached in there, batted that ball out, and Mike McKenzie fell on top of it.
He's been waiting for this moment for a long time, hasn't he, Kurt? Coming in, backing up Leroy Butler the last 3 years.
And he missed most of last season, did Edwards, with a torn ACL in week 3.
You see the ball gets completed right there to Willie Jackson. Popped it out right there. What a heads-up play. That is a veteran football play by Antoine Edwards, a guy that hasn't had a lot of play on Sundays in this league. He just bats that football out from behind, and Green Bay comes up with it.
First turnover for the Falcons. Green Bay begins at the 37. Amon Green with running room and the blocker. Donald Driver with a big blow. Keon Carpenter finally forced him out of bounds, but what a hit by Driver to spring him.
Wow!
38 yards on the run.
Oh, man. They want these guys to block better down the field. Watch Donald Driver right here. He'll get his momentum going right when Ashley Ambrose turns around. Bam! Sets him down in a hurry. What a hole on the backside for the cutback for Amon Green there. Those guys for Atlanta starting to get a little gassed up front because Green Bay had awesome surge on that play up front.
So the 38-yard pickup gets him to the 26 of Atlanta. Play action. Terry Glenn, that one broken up.
Oh.
Ray Buchanan thinking pick. It's second down.
Gone.
Big pass, broken up again, intended for Terry Glenn, and there's Ray Buchanan one more time.
Yep.
Well, they've got to get the ball to the 15-yard line for the first down. Handoff, Amon Green, nowhere to go. The Falcons wrapped him up right away. He tried to run up the middle, but the nose tackle, Ed Jasper, right there. This one going to be from 42 yards away. And it hooks left. No good. Oh, we mentioned his struggles last season. This is not the way you want to start off this year.
Nope.
He's now 1 for 2 on the day. So the turnover turns into nothing. Green Bay doesn't take advantage. Atlanta regains possession at the 32-yard line. T.J. Duckett. Waited, a little patience. He picked up 1 yard on the run. Play action. Oh, Vick just looks so calm back there. And now makes the moves when he needs to.
You see him make Joe Johnson. That's Baja Biamila. Both of them. And these are the 2 top sackers for the Green Bay Packers.
They're going, what are we supposed to do?
Biamila, of course, with 13.5 last year, and Joe Johnson had 8 for the New Orleans Saints. And they're trying to break down in their rush lanes. Mike Vick all day to throw. Look at him, break down, break down, break down. You're not getting Mike Vick. You can remember how we were taught as we were kids, you watch the belt buckle and you never get juked.
Right.
That doesn't work with Mike Vick.
So here it is, 3rd and a long one for Atlanta. Fake the handoff to Dunn. To the air, wide open, Bob Christian. Didn't have the speed to get in the end zone, but he gets all the way down to the 4-yard line. Niall Diggs finally stopped him, but 55 yards on the reception.
Well, we talked about the big game that Bob Christian had last year here, and he was huge. You'll see him here in the fullback up position. Hardy Nickerson is going to try to cover him there. Hardy just loses him in the zone. Bob gets beyond the zone, and then Niles, thank goodness for Green Bay. Yeah, Bobby's got that 28-inch inseam. See that?
Not long enough to get him into the end zone, but he has the longest catch of his career at 55 yards. And here's a guy, we talked about being underrated as the Falcons call, or we get to the 2-minute warning, pardon me. But you talk about a guy, each year he just seems to get better and better and better. 2-minute warning here in Green Bay. Atlanta on top, 14-10. Falcons quarterback Michael Vick, 43 yards rushing, 9 for 9 passing, 132 yards, and he's got about 85%
unbelievable
of the Falcons' total yardage so far.
And he said he wasn't feeling any pressure coming into today. He knows what kind of talent he has, what kind of ability he has, and was ready to showcase it. He's certainly done that this afternoon.
When you can go 9 for 9 in the regular season opener, why should you feel nervous? First down for Atlanta from the 4. Warwick Dunn lowers his head. Going to be stopped at the 1-yard line. 2nd and goal. Vick on the bootleg. In the end zone, wide open, Algie Crumpler, touchdown Falcons.
They are so worried about Mike Vick running it in that they just get sucked up big time. Nate Wayne gets pulled up and tight end Crumpler wide open in the back of the end zone. Nobody near him. Take a look at Crumpler right here. He'll get into the back of the end zone. No, there he is. Look at everybody coming up on Michael Vick. Bam, bam, bam. Everybody's worried about number 7 taking it in the end zone. They don't get on Crumpler. Easy pitch and catch there for 6 points.
And Jay Feely gets the extra point, and Atlanta has come into Lambeau Field to take a 21-10 lead on the Packers with 1:15 left in the first half in the Michael Vick show. Vick, 10 for 10 passing so far on the day, a touchdown through the air and 1 rushing on the ground.
And we talked about Mike Vick processing information, and what he did on that big play to Bob Christian was just amazing, recognizing the corner blitz and finding Bobby deep in the zone. Look at everybody suck up to Mike Vick.
And it's the return of the dirty bird from Algie Crumpler after this.
Got 3 guys playing Mike Vick on the rollout there. There's the dirty bird.
Jamal Anderson's not in the house, but the dirty bird is still here.
What an amazing new look they have this season too. And of course they get the new owner in Arthur Blank, and he's done some awesome things down there in terms of the dome, getting people involved, talking to the players, and I mean, going out and figuring out what these players need to make themselves a better team, and they all said about the same thing. Let's pack the Georgia Dome. He's figuring out a way to do that.
Healy kicks it through the end zone for the touchback. Starting at the 20-yard line, empty backfield for Favre. Out to Driver. Donald Driver fights his way out for a pickup of 8 yards on the play. From the shotgun. Favre gets rid of it. Terry Glenn can't catch it. There's a penalty flag down.
Illegal forward pass.
Yep.
Number 4 of the offense was beyond the line of scrimmage when he released the ball. It's a 5-yard penalty and loss of down.
Backs him up to the 25. They get it back. Donald Driver. He's got room. The Falcons try and keep him in bounds. Ashley Ambrose does that, bringing him down at the 41.
But even close to Driver on that play.
16 yards on the play, but the clock keeps ticking.
And he's the guy. Donald Driver is the guy that Brett trusts most. And I think that's the most important relationship between receivers and quarterbacks is trust, and Donald Driver's the guy.
He's looking that way again. Driver across midfield. They've got 3 receivers in now. Robert Ferguson, one of them in motion. Favre rolling out. Gets rid of the football, just lobs it up, and Ray Buchanan tried to tiptoe the sideline but couldn't get the ball. Well, the Falcons have in a 3-4 defense, obviously 3 starters, but they only have 2 backup defensive linemen.
Yeah, and guys are hurt, and Shane Dronette and Travis Hall, a couple of guys they were really counting on this year. Dronette's out for the year, and Travis Hall's just got a bad groin. They don't know when he'll be back.
3rd down, Green Bay needs the 47. That pass. Caught by Donald Driver.
The terrific catch from Donald Driver on the out route.
1st down, just outside the 40. Favre working from the shotgun. Gets it out. Javon Walker. And the 1st-round pick makes his first catch. Gets it inside the 25 to the 24, clock ticking. Down to 5 seconds. Favre spikes it. Stops it at 4.
Longwell 1 for 2 on the day with his field goals.
He missed from 42 yards away, same distance for this one.
It's gone.
While having it over at the right hash mark seemed to have helped him as he gets that one through to make it an 8-point game here at halftime. So the Falcons come out, though, and make plenty of noise, scoring 3 touchdowns on their 5 first-half possessions. Halftime here at Lambeau Field, the Falcons leading the Packers 21-13. Back here in Green Bay on opening day, Kurt Menefee along with Tim Ryan doing your first game here at Fox. And Tim, you played 5 years with the Chicago Bears, meaning 5 trips into Lambeau Field. Have you ever seen a crowd this quiet?
Well, I haven't. They're sitting on their hands right now here in Lambeau Field, and with all the excitement that we saw about 30 minutes ago, 30 minutes of football, things have changed here. And I think if you're defensively, if you're the Green Bay Packers right now and Ed Donatel, you got to go after Mike Vick. I mean, the story out there is this. They are so afraid that Mike Vick is going to beat him that Mike Vick is beating him. He's a perfect 10 for 10, and he looks outstanding.
And the Packers will have first shot at it here in the second half as Jay Feely kicks things off. That'll be a short one taken by Najee Davenport, the 4th-round pick out of Miami. Bounces off a running. Dragged down by Gerald McBurrows at the 40-yard line. During halftime, our Drew Smith had a chance to catch up with the Packer head coach.
Mike Vick obviously having a great day. What kind of adjustments do you need to make here at halftime?
Well, we got to do a better job on 2nd down. We're not getting them into 3rd down situation. I believe we've only put them in 3rd down twice. And but we're going to win on 2nd down. Our 1st down's not bad. 2nd down hasn't been very good for us. They're doing a good job executing their screens, taking advantage of our pass rush. But we got a few things in the second half. We make us some nice adjustments, and we'll shut it down.
All right, Coach, thanks a lot. Send it back upstairs.
All right, well, Sherman was right. Atlanta's only been in 2 third downs all first half.
Not like they haven't had their opportunities to get Mike Vick. They just can't corral him.
Favre on play action on his first play. Wide open, Terry Glenn. Down inside the Atlanta 20. Tackled by Ray Buchanan at the 17, but give him 42 yards.
This is why they brought Terry Glenn over from New England. He's got the ability to get off in man coverage and make something happen. We'll start with him right there. Ray Buchanan's with him all the way. Just runs a deep post and almost dropped that one too. Boy, he's dropped a few balls today, but comes up with a big play. I think Terry Glenn needed that for his confidence here in Green Bay. And I think if this guy stays healthy, if he's able to rejuvenate his career here for the Green Bay Packers, Green Bay will be at least in the top 3 in the league offensively.
But once again, he has to go out after making a play. We've seen him go out once already due to being a little nicked up today. Ahman Green. Green with a pickup of 3 yards. Patrick Kearney on the tackle. Well, this first half was a good one for both quarterbacks. The problem for Brett Favre is his numbers will pale in comparison. And you see Ahman Green having trouble getting up. He's holding his belly. You see the numbers between the two quarterbacks.
Vick's perfect, that's all.
But Ahman Green is not right now, as the medical staff has to come out to try and help him off the field right now. And there you see Ahman Green being carted off. He left the game holding his stomach. We'll get an injury report on him. First down for Favre. Rondell Mealy, who replaced Green, comes in and gets it down to the 3-yard line. First and goal for the Packers. Mealy, wide open hole, easily into the end zone. Touchdown, Packers.
And this is a big hole for Rondell Mealy here in the interior of the offensive line. Rondell lined up there at the tailback to counter, bringing David Martin around, getting some good blocks. And boy, Earl Dotson with a key block in there, getting his guy into the end zone.
Rondell Mealy's first career rushing touchdown. Tore his ACL as a rookie, came back last year and broke his leg. So this is 3rd season, trying to get some significant playing time. As Ryan Longwell puts it through for the extra point, the Packers come out on the first possession of the second half and cut it to a 1-point game. Is after Terry Glenn's big 42-yard reception, and they come out 2 minutes 12 seconds into the 3rd quarter and cut it to a 21-20 football game. Allen Rossum from his goal line. Put on the brakes and knocked down. Torrance Marshall once again with a big hit.
Every time Torrance Marshall makes the tackle on kickoff. Here's the touchdown. Watch the whole left side of the offensive line here. Everybody in unison will come down. You got a great down block there. Then you'll have Earl Dotson coming over from the backside. He hits Keith Brookings, knocks him a couple yards into the end zone. Brookings actually does a good job. And then look at this pocket right here for Rondell Mealy. That's just how you draw it up. Brookings delivers an outstanding shot there on Earl Dotson there. Problem is he's a yard into the end zone.
Falcons start just over the 20-yard line. 2 tight ends in the game. Vick perfect on his 10 passes in the first half. Starts this one off with a handoff. Warwick Dunn. That's going to be good enough for 12 yards and a first down as he just bowls over Darren Sharper at the end there.
What a move. Antoine Edwards came up with some corner support there. Thought that he had Warwick Dunn stopped in the hole. You see him come up, settle up. No. He is just so shifty, Warwick Dunn.
And then lowers the shoulder on Sharper.
Yeah, he's tough, too. He's 185 pounds. He's shifty, but he runs tough.
Still with 2 tight ends. Packers showing blitz. Here comes the Sharper.
Again.
Warwick Dunn spun by him. Wound up picking up a tough yard on that play. Vick's first pass attempt. No, he brings it down. Dunn out there blocking for him. He's going to be close to the first down marker. Marty Nickerson with the stop. 3rd and 1 for Atlanta. Vick on the sneak. Pushes the pile forward. See where they spot this one.
Keep in mind that Atlanta won the time of possession during the first half, and that's something that Dan Reeves talked about. Is Atlanta, we're not a quick strike offense. We got to be guys that just methodically move it down the field and move the chains and take time off the clock as they do get the first down here on Vick's sneak.
Crowd starting to come alive here again at Lambeau. Vick. Nowhere to run. Bounces it back outside. And chased down by Antoine Edwards. Second sack of the day for the Packers. That's a way to get the crowd back in it.
Mike Vick had nowhere to go there, but I'll tell you, there's one thing that Mike Vick could do here. You'll see him scramble. He's going to try to run it. Nope. Okay, he's still in the pocket. Now Mike Vick is outside of the pocket. Should have thrown that football away, Kurt, instead of taking the sack.
4-yard loss. 2nd and 14. Short drop incomplete. His first incompletion of the day intended for Sean Jefferson. First 3rd and long for Atlanta this day. They've got to get it almost to the 46 of Green Bay. Vick sets up across the field to Jefferson.
He
makes the reception. First down, Atlanta.
This will definitely display the arm strength of Mike Vick.
28 yards across the field.
Yeah, he's rolling to his right. Now, if he's going to get flushed, this is the way they want him to flush because he's got to throw against his body. But he sets his feet, bam, gets rid of it, and then just an outstanding catch. Antoine Edwards thought he could catch up here. That's a terrific catch by Sean Jefferson, who, by the way, has got a bad ankle and a bad back.
But he hangs in there for the 28-yard reception, gets it to the 32. Done on the handoff with room. Dancing. Tyrone Williams giving chase. Dunn fumbled that football. It's out of bounds. First down at the 17. Duckett escapes. 6 yards on the run. Mike McKenzie and Hardy Nickerson get it.
He's deceivingly fast, isn't he?
He really is for a guy that size. You don't expect, you know, him to display that speed.
Well, as soon as I saw him cut outside here, I thought, man, this is over. This Green Bay defense, the pursuit, too much speed is going to be able to track him down, and he just looks like he's lumbering out there and picks up 6 yards.
Well, here's a kid who came out of Michigan State University and, you know, had some tragedy in his life happen this spring when his mother passed away after battling lymphatic cancer for 6 years. Now living out his NFL dream. Duckett again. Picks up a yard on the play. Oh, his mother, her name was Jacqueline Graham. And there you see he's got her name tattooed on his arms. Not just her name, but her actual signature.
That's right. That's right. He got one of her library cards or something he couldn't quite remember that had her signature on it. Had it enlarged and then tattooed on the inside of his arm. I said, man, that must have hurt. I mean, that's probably one of the most tender spots on the body. He goes, man, with all the pain my mom went through raising us, it was the least I could do.
Jacqueline borrowed his mother. Duckett steps out of the game right now. Vick on the run. Inside.
Another design run for Mike Vick. We've seen 3 of those already for Mike.
Mark Dunn waiting for the blockers, but can't get anywhere. 2nd and goal for the Falcons. Play action to the end zone through the hands of Reggie Kelly.
Are they just not covering the tight ends today? Have they decided that we're just going to let them run free in the back of the end zone? My goodness.
That was the play Atlanta wanted. It worked to perfection, except the catch wasn't made.
Where is the linebacker in this play? Hardy's going out with Bob Christian. Either Sharper or Nate Wayne are just so late getting over there, and it's obvious that they're worried about Mike Vick. There's nobody within 7 yards of Kelly on that play.
3rd and goal. Vick gets it off. Incomplete. He had a Packer hanging on the back of him in Cletius Hunt. He only gets it up and through. So Atlanta settles for the field goal They run the lead back out to 4 points, 24-20 here in the third. Their defense stopped Atlanta on a 1st and goal from the 3-yard line, and they saw Amon Green come back from the locker room. He was cramping up, which is why they took him in, got some fluids in him on this hot day in Green Bay. That's Javon Walker, the first-round pick, with his first kick return since high school, taking it out to the 33-yard line. Amon Green comes back. Takes the reception into Falcon territory. Nice return by Green. 18 yards on that last pass to Amon Green. He takes this carry through a hole. Pickup of 9.
The offensive line knocked the D-line for Atlanta about 3 yards off the football that time, establishing a new line of scrimmage, and you do that, usually you're going to win.
79 yards rushing on this day so far. Favre. Bubba Franks, the tight end, gets the first down to the 34-yard line, a gain of 7. First down at the 28. Amon Green. Favre.
Gone.
To Green out of the backfield. Matt Stewart trips him up. You see a lot of teams switching to the 3-4. Pittsburgh was the only team that did it for a while. Then Cincinnati jumped on. Now they've jumped off, but Baltimore and Carolina.
The Raiders a little bit. Of course, the Houston Texans are going to run it.
William Henderson down to the 8-yard line.
The battering ram.
17 yards.
Watch Brett Favre. Watch his feet after he throws the football. Look, does he ever plant and set his feet? No,
Never.
he doesn't. Never. Look at him get up in the air and just find William Henderson right in between the 2 linebackers, and then the big boy just puts his head down. And
At least he admits that he never sets his feet.
Oh, yeah, he's not going to set his feet, and probably the reason he started 157 straight games in this league.
Yet today, number 158 in a row, an NFL record for quarterbacks.
Yep.
Penalty flags on the play.
False start. 76 offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
That's on Chad Clifton, just the second penalty against Green Bay, first against their offense. And, you know, I probably shouldn't say anything. But with 58 seconds to go in the third quarter of the first preseason game, we've only had 5 penalties. Usually the first game during the regular season, you see a lot of penalties.
It's been clean. You know, we saw a lot of during the preseason was a lot of that neutral zone infraction with the defensive linemen crowding the ball and getting up in the neutral zone. And, of course, a lot of the offensive tackles not being lined up on the offensive line of scrimmage. Looks like guys have learned throughout the preseason, and they're playing some pretty clean football today.
First and goal from the 13. Favre has time towards the end zone. Caught by Javon Walker, but there's a penalty flag on the play.
Holding. Number 30 defense. Penalties decline. Touchdown.
Henry Jones called for defensive holding. Javon Walker gets his first NFL touchdown. The first-round pick out of Florida State gives the Packers the lead for the first time since it was 3-0.
Guy's got a lot of big playability. Javon Walker.
Javon Walker with his first touchdown reception in his first NFL game. The number 1 pick out of FSU. First number 1 the Packers have taken at wide receiver since Sterling Sharp back in '88, and you see why.
And it's funny, he thought he was going to end up in Atlanta, and ended up, Atlanta got TJ Duckett, of course. He was still on the board. Green Bay went out and grabbed him, and he's the kind of first rounder that Brett Favre says you like to see. He's a humble guy, and he's got just a boatload of talent.
Allen Rossum from the 1. Knocked down hard by Todd McBride at the 25-yard line. TJ Duckett with a block. Duckett stays in bounds out to the 40-yard line. Nice job on the 15-yard pickup.
Good blocking out on the edge there by Todd Weiner, cleaning up the traffic for TJ Duckett. And see Brett's numbers there, 20 of 27, 233, a couple of touchdowns, 5 for 5 on that last drive for Brett Favre.
Oh, he's a guy who he's always had fun.
I asked him.
All 12 years, but he seems to be invigorated by this new receiving core and the challenge that they have on their hands coming up this year. End of the third quarter. Packers on top 27-24. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after this. Kurt Menefee, Tim Ryan with you at Lambeau Field. And Tim, the place I think is the most historic in the NFL and the most fun. It's turning into one of the most beautiful with the renovations going on.
Boy, it is. They've done such a great job of making this look like a new stadium, but at the same time preserving the nostalgia and the tradition of Lambeau Field. It's great.
Michael Vick going up top. He's got Brian Finneran, and he drops the football. Oh, my.
It does not get any easier than that for Brian Finneran. Mike Vick just drops this one in the breadbasket. On the run again, throws it about 40 yards, and just drops a dime right on the money. Finneran just can't hold on to it. You see him, he comes in motion and then just takes off. Sharper let him go. Obviously a miscommunication. Hit him right in the hands. He looked it in and just didn't hang on to it. Didn't grab it. You look at him, he does what he's supposed to do. He's looking the football in.
And Dan Reeves can't believe it. Second down at the 40. Little outlet to Duckett. Gets back to the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 10 for the Falcons. They need to reach midfield. Vick has to pull it down. Trips over his own offensive lineman and lost the football.
They said he was down.
Well, he tripped over the foot of Todd Weiner, his right tackle.
Excellent coverage, again, downfield by the Green Bay secondary. You see they're sending 3 guys out, plus the running back. Everybody's tied up in coverage. Mike Vick has nowhere to go with the football. Thinks about putting it down and taking off right there, and then just trips and goes down. And yeah, the ground knocked the football loose there, but big stop there for the Green Bay Packers. The key, getting them in 3rd and long, stopping them on 2nd down, as Mike Sherman said.
You know, there's still plenty of time, but if Reggie Kelly hangs on in the end zone and Brian Finneran hangs on to that last one, Falcons are up by 11 rather than trailing by 3 with the Packers having the ball. Favre tripped up in the backfield. Patrick Kearney gets the sack.
Brett getting up slow there. A little shaken up.
It's Brett Favre.
Yeah.
He doesn't get hurt.
See the sack here by Pat Kearney. Just keeps pressing it. Oh, that's one of those shoestring tackles right there, bringing Brett Favre down.
Well, Kearney coming off a career-high 12 sacks last season. And as you mentioned, was switched to a linebacker spot this year, but they put him back at defensive end in the 3-4.
Had some troubles in coverage, to say the least, and put some weight on, hunkered down there on the defensive end, and he's doing fine.
Big run by Amon Green. Green picking up 10 yards on the run. Ray Buchanan finally stopped him. Of course, started his career as a 2nd-round draft pick by the Atlanta Falcons back in 1991. And, well, he wasn't the most coordinated quarterback. Let's just say it that way. But since trading him in 92, the Falcons have been looking for a replacement. Look at all those guys.
You trying to tell me that he wasn't a projected Hall of Famer back in 92?
Well, he was a 3rd-string quarterback. You see his win total, 103. The other quarterbacks, 68 victories. Quick pass through the hands of Donald Driver, incomplete.
Got to catch that Donald Driver right in the hands.
And so Josh Bidwell comes on for his first punt. Alan Rossum, the deep man for the Falcons, from the 18. Scoots through into Packer territory. So Atlanta trails 27-24 here in the 4th quarter. Vick to the air. That's caught in traffic. And a nice job by Finneran of hanging in on that one. 2 tight ends in for Atlanta on 1st down at the 33. Pump fake. Being chased from behind. Vick sprints out in front of everybody, down to the 20-yard line. Niall Diggs catches his feet, but only after 13 more by Vick on the ground.
And this comes right from the head coach for Mike Vick. If nobody's open down the field, Dan Reeves tells him, look, every guy is covered, you're not. Take off, do what you do best, and run the football. Of course, the big key defensively there was Vonnie Holliday, the right defensive end, getting pinned down. You cannot give up contain to any quarterback in this league. They get out in space, they're going to hurt you, especially if it's a guy like Mike Vick. He'll kill you.
Dan Reeves says he thinks that Vick has a tendency to stay in the pocket too long sometime, trying to prove that he can be a pocket passer.
Well, uncharacteristic of a guy with his ability. He was sacked once every 6 times he threw the football last year.
1st and 10. Dunn bouncing it outside. He picks up 9 yards on the play. Artie Nickerson on the tackle. Ray Buchanan talked to the kid before the game about just that.
Ready to roll, dog? Huh? Me, I'm gonna be sitting on the sideline and stuff like that. Now, if you feel like, you know, you want to come and talk to me about something, just come and let me know. I can handle it.
To have somebody to rely on, but
hey, gotta have somebody. I'm gonna let you know what I see out there. Something they doing, I'm gonna let you know what I see. But when everything else fails, tuck and run.
Tuck and run.
On them, dog.
Oh, that's what he's been doing so far today. 9 carries, 72 yards for Vick.
Killing the Packers.
Warwick Dunn. He's going to be near that 1st down marker. Had to get to the 10-yard line and got there. 1st down Atlanta and goal to go. 1st and goal. Dunn. Shifting down to the 2-yard line. Well, the Falcons have run bootlegs down here with Michael Vick on the touchdown pass to the tight end Crumpler, and the drop touchdown pass also to Kelly at the other end.
Hey.
This time they pitch it to Dunn. Trying to get it outside, moves back inside, into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta Falcons.
What a key block for Bob Christian.
Warwick Dunn with his 2nd touchdown run of the day, and the Falcons go back on top.
And the block was on Darren Sharper from Bob Christian. And we mentioned what a good game Bobby had last year. Here's Bob right in the fullback position right there. He'll come up right there. Sharper tries to take him down low, basically takes himself out of the play. And Warwick Dunn, you just can't do that to him. He is too nimble-footed. He's going to find the crease and get it in.
Bob Christian with the big block. Dunn with the big TD score. And Atlanta regains the lead. Jay Feely for the extra point. Oh, we're going back and forth. It's the Falcons back on top, 31-27. We know about the blood and sweat today. Which team will be shedding tears at the end of this one as the Falcons retake the lead, 31-27. 8 minutes, 7 seconds to go in the opening game at Lambeau Field. Kurt Menefee along with Tim Ryan here on the NFL's big kickoff weekend. Javon Walker in the end zone, just downs it right there. 1st down from the 20. Favre to Green. Pickup of 8 yards. Well, there's John Theory, who's still down right now, and Theory is a guy who played with these Green Bay Packers the last couple of years, and he's getting up slowly. He broke his leg in the 1st week of the preseason games. It was just the fibula, which is the small bone in the leg, so he's been able to come back 4 weeks later.
And Atlanta lacking depth already right now with 4 linebackers down with injury. Can't afford to lose another one here in John Theory, and he's just getting his legs back underneath him.
Well, you mentioned 4 linebackers out, meaning the Falcons start 4 linebackers in that 3-4, and they only have 2 as backups in Jeff Kelly and Sam Rogers. And right now, Jeff Kelly, or make it Sam Rogers, comes in the football game to replace Theory. And Amon Green picks up the 1st down for Green Bay. Amon Green with the carry. He scoots his way out to the 39-yard line to pick up a 4. And Brett Favre kind of mentioned the fact that John Elway got that at the end of his career, a couple of Super Bowls. Not saying that he would retire if he won one, but he says he's starting to think about retirement for the first time in his career.
Yeah, he is. It's been 12 years, and people don't really realize that it's been 12 great years for Brett Favre in the National Football League. And listen, his body hurts like everybody else's. He can tell you that he loves this game, which he does, and he can run around out there like he's a 22-year-old rookie. But believe me, with all the battles that he's been in, his body's hurting just like every other guy on the field.
Turns 33 in October. Grambling out this time, up high, too high for Terry Glenn, incomplete. Packers need 5 yards. They're 7 for 10 on third downs today. Favre in trouble. Escapes. Ball came out, but Favre recovered.
Before number 4 touched the ground.
They're going to challenge.
Challenging. The Falcons are saying that they thought it was a fumble.
And it looks like it's a fumble. Brooking gets his hand right there on the football. Knees not down. Football's loose. Wait, that's almost simultaneous, isn't it? What do you think?
That's close to tell, and once again, they ruled it a fumble, so they've got to see evidence to prove to them that it was not a fumble. And I don't know if that's enough to overturn a call that was made on the field.
After review, the ball was loose before the quarterback's knee touched the ground. Therefore, the fumble, as ruled on the field, stands. First down.
Wait, that's a heck of a call by the officials there, because we saw that in super slow motion and it was hard to tell, and they actually made the right call on the field.
Well, they stuck with their call is what they did, which means they either saw something that said it was a fumble, which is what he said, or they just didn't feel there was enough evidence and decided to say they stuck with it. So Green Bay holds on to it right at the 48-yard line. Atlanta will lose a timeout. Amon Green into Falcon territory. Good enough for another Packer first down after a gain of 12. Green Bay at the Atlanta 41. Favre. Quick pass out to Walker. Javon Walker makes the move. Ray Buchanan finally drags him down along with help from Gerald McBurrows. A pickup of 9. The Falcons offense have shown they can put up points. Green Bay trying to keep pace with 4:40 left to go in this ball game. Green on 2nd and 1, hit in the backfield, fell forward. Looks like he may have gotten enough for the first down.
Terrific effort by 52 Matt Stewart, knifing in there to try to get Amon Green off his feet.
First down, Packers. Wade Phillips, the new defensive coordinator for the Falcons, and this new 3-4 defense looking to see if it can withstand the pressure. Green. Close to another Packer first down. Gerald McBurrows on the tackle. Amon Green now 128 yards rushing. He had 157 in the season opener last year in the win over Detroit, so apparently he is good to go on opening day.
Only second to Marshall Faulk in the league last year in terms of all-purpose, nearly 2,000.
He's out. Rondell Mealy is in, and he's inside the Atlanta 10, still fighting down inside the 5. Oh, it doesn't hurt when you take Amon Green out if you got a Mealy to put in.
I told you, didn't I?
Yeah, you were right.
I told you he's no Amon Green, but he's pretty darn good. And he's a guy that, if you remember, was down at LSU and didn't play a lot early in his career. He was behind Kevin Falk, who's up in New England, and here he just has a gaping hole. Holisek runs himself out of it. Look at the block by the receivers. You see Javon Walker? Look at Javon Walker come down and get a block on the edge there and spring Rondell Mealy.
18 yards on the run by Mealy.
Walker right there. Just securing the edge for Rondell Mealy and picks up the big gain.
First and goal for the Packers at the 4-yard line.
Big point of emphasis for this Green Bay receiving corps was blocking downfield in the running game.
Mealy stopped at the line of scrimmage. Everything bottled up right there. And that'll be the final play before the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to go. Opening day at Lambeau Field. Hometown Packers down by 4. No S on the chest, but a G on the helmet. The Green Bay Packers Superman. 23 career game-winning comebacks for Brett Favre. 21 in the regular season, 2 in the playoffs, and they're looking for 1 more today. Trailing the Falcons 31-27 at the 2-minute warning. Ball on the 4-yard line. The handoff, Amon Green. Tripped up. He's going to be stopped short right about the half-yard line as they trail by 4 points. 1:40 left to play in this opening game. The tackle on the left side, Earl Dotson has reported as eligible. They run that way. Amon Green stopped. Second effort. No signal yet. And he will be spotted down short of the goal line. This play is now under review. I think the officials saw what we saw in the replay booth. They'll take a look here, and we'll see if this ball is out, and also whether or not he crossed the goal line before the ball came out. Well, the question is, did the ball cross the plane of the goal line? Because they could also be reviewing this to see whether or not he got a touchdown.
Yep. Not down yet.
That ball did not cross the goal line from that angle.
It didn't.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. The ball was short of the goal line, and the runner was down by contact. Makes it 4th down. Atlanta requested a timeout.
Atlanta owning a 31-27 lead on the Packers. 1:16 left to play. Kurt Menefee along with Tim Ryan. Packers 4th and goal from the 6-inch line. Up back, William Henderson. Falcons defense goes up. Did they stop him? Touchdown, Green Bay Packers is the call.
So you earn your money inside there. That's where the big boys like to play. Just right up the gut. Surprised with the dive play to William Henderson, but obviously the right one to call. And you watch William Henderson throughout his career. This cat has quietly excelled and been very, very underrated throughout.
First carry of the day for Henderson gives the Packers the lead late. And a happy Packers sideline along with 65,000 here at Lambeau Field. And the officials are taking another look at this one.
This is an easy call to me. He's up, still on his feet, second effort. He's across the plane. That's touchdown. His head is well over the goal line.
But where's the ball? That's what matters.
He's got the ball high up in his chest. That's a touchdown. Yeah, he's got the football right under his chin. That's a touchdown. That's a touchdown. He's still not down. I never saw his knees go down. Yeah.
After review, there is no indisputable visual evidence to change the call. Touchdown.
No brainer.
So Atlanta's out of timeouts, and earlier in this quarter, they lost a timeout on a replay challenge.
Yep, they sure did, and that's going to be key, obviously, right now when you've only got 1:10 and you've got a second-year quarterback at the helm trying to run your 2-minute offense.
So Ryan Longwell on for the extra point.
Got to have a good snap and hold here. This is a big extra point.
He's already missed 1 field goal today. And he stays perfect on the extra points, giving the Packers the lead at 34-31.
Kickoff coverage here is going to be absolutely huge for Green Bay. They've got to get down and get Atlanta stopped within their own 30-yard line. And Frank Novak, the special teams coach of Green Bay right now, is probably biting his fingernails.
And you talk to the Packers and they say, well, you know, those are guys that aren't here anymore. But head coach Mike Sherman mentioned he is concerned about that being momentum, working against his team and other teams coming in, thinking and feeling they could return the ball.
Even though it's different guys, you're still seeing the green and gold or the green and yellow out there getting touchdowns scored on their kickoff coverage, and gives the guys some motivation and some momentum to come in here and think they can do it.
And as you said, Longwell has been short with his kickoffs last year and this year. Allen Rossum, the deep man for Atlanta. This one backs him up to the 5. Rossum dancing around at the 31-yard line, wrapped up by a number of Packers. And so Michael Vick will take over officially. They'll spot it right at the 32-yard line. Vick having to talk to his fullback Bob Christian because of the crowd noise. Starting at the 31. Vick under pressure, gets rid of it, and that's Algie Crumpler, the tight end, trying to fight his way out of bounds, and he got there. 11 yards and an Atlanta first down from the 42. Vick Under pressure again. Brought down by the sack. Kabir Bajabia-Miller.
Well, he almost had it the last time around the corner on that three-man rush, taking care of Todd Weiner. And here's another rule change. The clock will not stop.
Bia-Miller got an early jump, and so the flags come out.
Elevated to the quarterback. Defense. A
That's
5-yard
called
penalty.
on Bia-Miller for getting that early jump.
Yeah, the defense back in years past would actually get penalized for making a sack during the last 2 minutes of a football game with the clock being able to stop. So they've changed that rule, rewarding them for making a big play, and Bia-Miller just comes up with a big sack there. 13.5 last year, as you mentioned. This guy was a huge surprise when he came out of San Diego State 3 years ago. They didn't expect him to be the type of pass rusher that he's become here in Green Bay.
Well, they gave them the yardage back that was taken away on the sack. 32 seconds to go. Vick from the shotgun. Got all kinds of time. Wide open. That pass complete to Willie Jackson down inside the 35-yard line. Clock keeps ticking.
Expect a little tighter zone than that. That was too easy.
Vick spikes the football. So the ball spotted at the 34-yard line. Right now, that would be about a 51-yard attempt. 3 receivers in for Atlanta. Vick looking. Jackson incomplete. So Jay Feely comes on. Feely has already made a 21-yarder today. This officially will be from 52 yards away. Jay Feely attempting a 52-yard field goal. Chris Moore with a hold. It's up. And it's good. And so Jay Feely comes through from 52 yards out, and the Falcons have tied the game.
Feely knew he had that as soon as it left his foot. Hit that pure.
Falcons went 35 yards in 1 minute 5 seconds in just 6 plays with no timeouts to tie this game.
That's why I don't like the prevent defense at times. If you're going to play it a little tighter than that. I mean, those coverages were way too big. Way too much room in those zone coverages for those guys to maneuver around, settle down, and pick up a couple of easy first downs. And here's the real story of this game, folks. Right there, Mike Vick.
15 of 21, 209 yards and a touchdown passing. 9 carries for 72 yards on the ground.
I'd say he's answered the critics today.
Javon Walker. And he's brought down with no time left on the clock. And the opening game of this season for both the Falcons and the Packers will go to overtime.
Some of the rules here, overtime.
Coin toss, and of course 1 15-minute quarter. Each team will have 2 timeouts, and all replays will be from the booth, which I think is the most important thing. First team, obviously, to score will win.
What's up? What's your choice?
Sudden death.
Who calls heads? It is the tail. When we receive, which goal do you want to defend? Turn around, please.
Listening to the crowd, who do you think won the coin toss?
Let me guess.
Green Bay has won the toss. He elects to receive. Good luck, man.
And so the Packers will get the first chance at it here in overtime. Game 1 of the 2002 season. Everybody's got to work a little harder.
NFL replay.
Kurt Menefee along with the former Bear Tim Ryan doing his first NFL game on Fox. It's Lambeau Field, and it's overtime.
You won't put an S on his chest, but I'll put one on his back. Right there.
He is indeed Superman.
Yeah. Anybody else that you'd rather have the ball in overtime as you start out and
absolutely no question.
No way.
But Michael Vick is going to make a case for himself if the Falcon defense can stop Green Bay. That's Javon Walker. Ducks underneath and carries it out to the 34-yard line. Oh, we've got a great finish coming up here at Lambeau. Packers starting at the 34-yard line in overtime. All tied at 34. Brett Favre in regulation. 22 of 31, 251 yards and 2 scores. And on the ground, it's been Ahman Green who is taking care of business. Green has had a fantastic opener 22 carries, 133 yards rushing. We mentioned in the season opener last year he had 157.
Picked up a lot of tough yards today, I think.
And he went out with an injury.
That's right. Went out with an injury to the abdomen and actually got carted into the locker room, came back out and picked up right where he left off, positive yards.
Also 5 receptions for 39 yards for Green. Quick pass out to Donald Driver. Good enough for a Packer first down, a gain of 11. Packers go with 2 tight ends. Favre scrambling. Gets rid of it. Out of bounds, incomplete. Ball on the 47-yard line, 2nd and 10. Three wide receivers for the Packers. Javon Walker comes in as the 3rd. They fake the handoff. Under pressure, John Dale Carty, the safety, coming on the blitz and gets the sack.
Yep. Comes on a safety blitz. Everybody covered out on the edge. Brett had absolutely nowhere to go with the football.
They lose 8 yards on the play.
Yep. Packers good in that area. Only gave up 22 sacks all year last year in 17 games.
They need to get to the Atlanta 43 to keep this drive going. Pass incomplete, intended for Terry Glenn, but he had 3 Falcons around him, and so it will be 3 and out for the Packers. Josh Bidwell on to punt. Allen Rossum, who as a Packer returned 155 yards for a touchdown last year, but there's going to be a flag right by Bidwell, and a member of the Falcons is going to get in trouble.
That may be the long one, too. I think it was Travis Jervey. Yeah, it is. Travis Jervey.
Another former Packer.
Yep.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Number 36 defense. A 15-yard penalty and a first down.
No
you
question.
Just got the ball back in overtime after stopping them, and you commit a penalty like this?
Yeah, like I said, you don't give Brett Favre another opportunity. That's how a punter gets hurt right there. That was more than just a touch. Now, Jervey was laying out. Not a lot he could do once he committed himself, but you got to be smarter than that. When you hold Brett Favre to 3 and out in overtime and you force him to punt, you don't lay out like that in front of the punter.
Packers start at the 46 of Atlanta. Come on, Green. Picks up 3 yards. Green again. Nice job by Patrick Kearney.
Well played at the point of attack by Patrick Kearney.
Favre from the shotgun, needing the 36 for the first down. Green stops short. Keith Brooking made the tackle right at the 40-yard line immediately. Bidwell back to punt. Rossum standing at his 10-yard line. Going to make the fair catch right at the 12-yard line, and Atlanta will take over from there, looking to get back to where they were, which was in the lead. Michael Vick on the touchdown run, and then Warwick Dunn as Atlanta came out scoring all kinds of ways to take the lead at halftime, 21-13, but the Packers came back in the second half, thanks in part to the arm of Brett Favre. And then it became a back-and-forth contest for a while. This touchdown gave the Packers the lead at 34-31. But Atlanta got a 52-yard field goal from Jay Feely to tie the game at 34 with 5 seconds left in regulation. And that is how we got to OT.
Now you're a little bit nervous. Stopped twice by the Atlanta Falcon defense. Mike Vick's got the football. Watch out.
From his 12. And the Packer defense sniffed that one out. Warwick Dunn picks up maybe 2 yards before being stopped by Nate Wayne. Finneran goes in motion. Packers showing blitz. Here comes the safety, Sharper. And that one almost intercepted by Nate Wayne. Atlanta has to get it to the 22-yard line for the first down. From the shotgun. Bob Christian doesn't hold on. And so Atlanta will go 3 and out on its first possession of overtime. Packers will take over after the punt with what should be excellent field position. Chris Moore on to punt. Dangerous Darian Gordon calling for the fair catch right at the 40-yard line. We all know first team to put points on the board will leave with a record of 1-0. The other team 0-1. Green Bay starting at the 40-yard line. Mon Green. He's brooking with the tackle after a 4-yard pickup. Play action. Ball off his back foot to Walker.
The rookie. Boy, what a precision route. He's got an ability to separate away from the defender there. He's in the slot, which is always your most productive receiver, and he's a rookie here. They're going to come off with a little rub type play, and look at him cut and separate right there. Ray just can't catch up. A little bit too late, and just a perfect strike from Brett.
18 yards on the reception, and this is a guy, you talk about mature. He's 23 years old, but he played minor league baseball for a while and shows a lot more maturity than most first-year players.
He's not afraid to go get it in traffic either.
Amon Green goes through traffic down to the 26-yard line. Gerald McBurrow stops him from behind, but you got to believe now after the 13-yard run that the Packers are suddenly in field goal distance. 26 carries, 154 yards for Green. 27th carry. Najee Davenport comes in to replace him. Davenport gets his first carry inside the 20. Looking at the Green Bay field goal situation, Ryan Longwell 2 for 3 on the day. He's made them from 28 and 42, but he's also missed from 42 yards away. You know the Packers want to keep the ball on the right hash mark for him, the way he hooks it. Davenport going to be down close to that first down marker.
They expect him to be a good player here in Green Bay before it's all said and done. The rookie out of Miami, and this guy is an absolute load.
And here comes Longwell.
Remember, the first field goal today that he made was a situation where it was a bad snap by Rob Davis. Peterson was able to get the hold down, and Longwell was able to chip it through the uprights, but the snap will be absolutely key here with the timing of the kick.
And now we'll watch as Ryan Longwell attempts a 34-yarder to win it. High snap. It's put down and it's put through.
Oh, Doug Peterson, give that man a game ball for getting that hold down on time. Wow. Well, I guess if you're a Green Bay Packer fan, in your brand new stadium, which is still Lambeau Field, they've just done a tremendous job of refurbishing it. Doesn't work out any better than this.
And the Green Bay Packers come back to knock off the Atlanta Falcons. 37-34 is the final in overtime. Packers 1-0 on the year. Atlanta falls to 0-1.